Hi, we'll now look into the topic direct and inverse proportion, exercise 13.2. Now, this is 13.2 deals with inverse proportion. So, two quantities x and y are said to vary in inverse proportions if xy is equal to k. Now, where k is a constant. Now, in any case, if y1, y2 are the values of y and x1 and x2 are the values of x respectively, then we can write it as x1, y1 is equal to x2, y2, or x1 by x2 will be equal to y1 by y2 by y1. Moving on to the exercise 13.2, question number 1. Which of the following are in the inverse proportion? Number 1, the number of workers on a job and the time taken to complete the job. The number of workers, time taken to complete. If the number of workers increases for a particular amount of work to be done, then the time reduces. So, if this increases and this increases and this decreases, or if this decreases, this will increase, because if number of work decreases, the time taken to complete the work will increase. So, they are in inverse proportion. They are in inverse proportion. Question number 2. The time taken for a journey and the distance travelled in a uniform speed. That is, the distance travelled and the time. So, here when the distance travelled increases, the travelling distance increases, time increases. When the travelling distance decreases, the time also decreases. So, this is in direct proportion. When it is increased, time will increase. So, this is not in inverse proportion. Question number 3. Area of cultivated land and the crop in harvested. Now, let's take the land and the crop. The area of the land increases, the crops harvesting will increase. Similarly, when the area of the land decreases, naturally this will also decrease. So, here it is in direct proportion. So, this is, the question is whether it is in inverse proportion or not. So, this is not in inverse proportion. Question number 4. The time taken for a fixed journey and the speed of the vehicle. Fixed time and the speed. Now, here speed varies, that is time is fixed here, and the speed can either increase or decrease. So, this is in the inverse proportion, because here it is in the fixed time. Question number 5. The population of a country and the area of the land per person. Here population and the land. When the population increases, the area will decrease, or when the population decreases, the area will increase. So, this is in inverse proportion. Moving on to question number 2. In a television game show, the prize money of rupee 1 lakh is to be divided equally among the winners. Complete the following table and find whether the prize money given to an individual winner is directly or inversely proportional to the number of winners. Now we have the table, number of winners versus the prize money. 1 and 2 are given. For 1 it is 1 lakh, for 2 it is 50,000. From the next table we have to find out. So the number of winners is given to be 4. So how to calculate? For 1 it is 1 lakh. Similarly, we saw the formula x1 y1 equal to x2 y2. So in this 4 into x. Now x will be equal to 1 lakh divided by 4. This is equal to 25,000. Next column is the number of winner is 5. So 1 into 1 lakh, this is the whole amount for 5 members. It is x, which is equal to x is equal to 1 lakh divided by 5. So x is equal to 20,000. 1 into 1 lakh equal to, next is 8. 8 into, we'll have it as y. Y equal to 1 lakh divided by 8, which comes to 12,500. So these are the corresponding values. Now for the next column, it is the value of 10. So 1 into 1 lakh is equal to 10 into t. T is equal to 1 lakh by 10, which is equal to 10,000. For the next value of 20, it is 20 into, we'll have is w. W is equal to 1 lakh by 20, and the value is 5,000. Now we'll have the number of winners. This is the prize amount. The first two values are given. For the next two values, for 4 it is 25,000. For 5 it is 20,000. 8 is 12,500. 10 is 10,000. For 20 it is 5,000. So hence we have completed the table. Question number 3. Raymond is making a wheel using spokes. He wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angles between any pair of consecutive spokes are equal. Help him by completing the following table. Now the following table is given as number of spokes with the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes, and the number of spokes 4, 6, 8 and so on. The values are given, the angles are given as 90, 60 and we have to find the other values. So the base value is 4 and 90. Question number 1 will be, are the number of spokes and the angles formed between the pair of consecutive spokes in inverse proportion? So first we have to find the values. Now for that, 4 into 90 degree, this is the base value. Now the third value is 8. Number of spokes is 8. Now this, the value we have, angle we have to find, so it is x. So x is equal to 4 into 90 degrees by 8, is equal to 45 degrees. The next value will be 4 into 90 degree, the base value, 10 into y, or y is equal to 4 into 90 degree by 10, the value is 36 degrees. 4 into 90 degrees equal to 12 into z, z equal to 4 into 90 degree divided by 12, the value is 30 degrees. Here this is number of spokes. Now this is the angle. Now we have found out, like 4 for 90 degrees is given, 6 60 degrees is given, 8 10 12. Now we have found out the values are 45, 36 and 30. So 45 degrees, 36 degrees and 30 degrees. Now the first subdivision answer is whether they are in inverse proportion or not. Here 4 into 90 degree equal to 6 into 60 degrees equal to 8 into 45 degrees equal to 10 into 36 degrees equal to 12 into 30 degrees. So the answer is yes, they are in inverse proportion. Question number 2. Calculate the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes on a wheel with 15 spokes. Now let the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes on a wheel with 15 spokes be x degrees. Now here lesser the spokes, more the angle. So this is the case of inverse proportion, because the lesser the spokes, more the angle. Now we will have to find base is 4 into 90. For 15 it is how much? Now x equal to 4 into 90 degree by 15, which comes to 24 degree. Hence the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes on a wheel with 15 spokes is 24 degrees. Question number 3. How many spokes would be needed if the angle between pair of consecutive spokes is 40 degrees? Let x spokes be needed. Lesser the number of spokes, more will be the angle. So this is the case of inverse proportion. So if it is in the case of inverse proportion, then we will have the base value as 4 into 90, and for 40 it is asked. So x is equal to 4 into 90 degree by 40, which is equal to 9. Hence 9 spokes would be needed. Question number 4. If a box of sweets is divided among 24 children, they will get 5 sweets each. How many would each get if the number of children is reduced by 4? We'll have each would get x sweets. Here number of children, number of sweets. Number of children is 24, number of sweets is 5. So 4 less. So 24 minus 4 is equal to 20. Number of sweets will be x. Now lesser the number of children, more the sweets. So this is a case of inverse proportion. Then we should use the formula is 24 into 5 is equal to 20 into x. Because that is in the case of inverse proportion, so x equal to 24 into 5 by 20, which is equal to 6. Hence each would get 6 sweets. Question number 5. A farmer has enough food to feed 20 animals in his cattle for 6 days. How long would the food last if there were 10 more animals in his cattle? Let's take the food would last for x days. Number of animals, number of days. If this is 20, number of days is 6. This is 20 plus 10. That's what is given, just 30. Then here it is x. Here more the number of animals, lesser will be the number of days for which the food will last. So here it is in the case of inverse proportion. 20 into 6 equal to 30 into x, or x is 20 into 6 by 30 is equal to 4. Hence the food would last for 4 days. Question number 6. A contractor estimates that 3 persons would rewire Jasmin's house in 4 days. If he uses 4 persons instead of 3, how long should they take to complete the job? Let the number of days be x to complete the job. Here number of persons, number of days. Number of person given as 3 for 4 days. Now instead of 3 we'll take it as 4, that is what is asked, and here it will be x. So more the number of persons, lesser will be the number of days required to complete the job. Hence it is in the case of inverse proportion. So here 3 into 4 is 4 into x. X is 3 into 4 by 4, which is equal to 3. Hence, they would take 3 days to complete the job. Question number 7. A batch of bottles were packed in 25 boxes with 12 bottles in each box. If the same batch is packed using 20 bottles in each box, how many boxes would be filled? Let the number of boxes filled be X. Number of bottles, number of boxes. This is 12, this is given as 25. For 20 it is X. Lesser the number of bottles, more will be the number of boxes. Now this is case of inverse proportion. So 12 into 25 is equal to 20 into X. X is 12 into 25 by 20, which is equal to 15. Hence 15 boxes would be filled. Question number 8. The factory requires 42 machines to produce a given number of articles in 63 days. How many machines would be required to produce the same number of articles in 54 days? Let the number of machines be X. So here the number of machines, number of days. 42, 63. Number of machines is asked, then number of days is given. Lesser the number of machines, more the number of days. So it is in the case of inverse proportion. So here it is 42 into 63 is equal to X into 54. X is equal to 42 into 63 by 54, which is equal to 49. Hence 49 machines would be required. Question number 9. A car takes 2 hours to reach a destination by traveling at the speed of 60 km per hour. How long will it take when a car travels at the speed of 80 km per hour? Let it take X as we have speed in kilometer per hour. This is the number of hours. So 62 hours. For 80 km per hour, it is X. Lesser the speed, more the number of hours to reach the destination. So it is in the case of inverse proportion. We can have 60 into 2, which is equal to 80 into X equal to 60 into 2 by 80, which is equal to 3 by 2, which is equal to 1 by 2. Thus 1 by 2 hours would be taken. Question number 10. Two persons could fit new windows in a house in 3 days. Question number 1. One of the persons fell ill before the work started. How long would the job take now? So question number 1, let the job would take X days. Now we have number of person, number of days. For two persons 3 days. One went ill, so 2 minus 1 will be 1. So for one person it is X. So we know more the number of persons, lesser would be the number of days. So here it is in the case of inverse proportion. So here 2 into 3 is 1 into X. So X is equal to 6. Thus the job would now take 6 days. Problem number 2. How many persons would be needed to fit the windows in 1 day? This is number of days. This is number of persons. This is given. For 1 day it is X. So we know more the number of persons, lesser would be the number of days. So it is in the case of inverse proportion. 3 into 2 equal to 1 into X. X is 6. Hence 6 persons would be needed. Question number 11. A school has periods a day, each of 45 minutes duration. How long would each period be if the school has 9 periods a day, assuming the number of school hours to be the same? Let each period be X minutes long. We have the number of periods. This is the length of each period in minutes. So this is 8, this is 45. This is 9, this is X. So we know that more the number of periods, lesser would be the length of each period. So 8, this is in the case of inverse proportion. So we can use 8 into 45 is equal to 9 into X. X is 8 into 45 by 9, which is equal to 40. Hence each period will be 40 minutes long.